What's going on, people? Mark from Double Clutch Auto Reviews here. Thank you for tuning in for another video. Welcome to my channel. Today we have my buddies Dana and Kevin's 2017 Nissan Murano Platinum. This is a four-door SUV with a 3.5-liter V6 engine making 260 horsepower and 240 pound-feet of torque. The MSRP for a brand new Murano S is just over $31,000, but if you want the fully loaded trim, the Platinum Murano, it's about $46,000. Now, 2 years later, you can get the 2017 model Murano Platinum for around $25,000 to $28,000 based on this trim, all its features, and the mileage it has, about 50,000 miles on this car right now. My friends Dana and Kevin, who own this car, say they love it. They're very happy with it so far. They say its strongest attributes are its ride quality, interior comfort with its spacious, supple leather seats, and its ease of driving. They say it's the best car that they've ever had for taking on long trips. The only major issue they've had with this car so far is the adaptive cruise control sensor braking. They had a really hard time with the dealership trying to get it fixed, but they eventually did get it fixed, and they are very happy with the results. So I'll start with the exterior styling. It's certainly a very modern looking car, a lot of angles and a lot of different design aspects all over the place. I think it might be a little busy. I definitely wouldn't call it beautiful by any means, but it's certainly not repulsive to look at. I'm also not a huge fan of silver cars particularly, but I feel like with this car, it works. The silver color kind of contrasts with the chrome and the black and gunmetal gray. I think with this vehicle, it fits. Some of my favorite design attributes of this vehicle are the wheels. I love the 20-inch aluminum alloy wheels. I really like the two-tone paint job with the silver and gunmetal gray and that kind of spiral design. I think that looks really sharp. I also think that the C and D pillar design with that body line coming together gives it a nice, unique look. I think it sets this SUV apart from the other SUVs that Nissan has in their lineup. So before we jump inside, definitely have to mention this feature that comes from the factory, remote start. First you lock the car, push the start button. Another cool feature with the doors, there's this little button right on the handle to unlock the car. Push it, the door opens. Same goes when you want to lock the car, close the door, push the button, door locks, walk away. Moving around back, another convenient feature this car has on the remote, automatic tailgate lifter, push and hold, 3 beeps, and the tailgate opens, voila. And you have 2 ways of closing it once the tailgate's open. You can either hit the button again and hold it, also shuts, or you can just reach right up here and push this button, same thing. And now once the tailgate's closed, you have your cargo in your hands, you want to lock the car and walk away, you don't have to get the key out of your pocket again. You reach under here and push a little button right next to the tailgate opener, locks the doors, and you can walk away. Putting the seats down is a fairly easy process. You just reach back here and pull this little lever, seats fold right down. All right, now moving on to the interior of the Nissan Murano Platinum. I have to say my first impression is I love these interior trim pieces. It's like a silver wood looking finish. I know it's plastic, but I think it looks really nice, makes it look really upscale. The seats are very comfortable, as Dana and Kevin say. Tons of leg room in here, even in the back seats. Very spacious, very comfortable leather. In the center console, you'll note that it has a little storage compartment. Also has a USB and auxiliary jack in there. I feel like the center armrest is nice and attractive looking with a nice leather bolstering on it. Open it up, you'll notice it has decent amount of space inside with a 12-volt outlet jack right there. Car has a huge panoramic moonroof, looks very nice. The driver's seat also has 2 presets, has a heated steering wheel. I feel like it suits its price range as far as interior quality and appearance is concerned. Moving in the back, you'll notice there's a lot of legroom. I feel very comfortable back here. Also, huge bonus for this car, heated rear seats. Now that's a true luxury feature. There's also a USB jack for rear seat passengers, and there's 4 cup holders total, 2 in the center armrest and 1 in each door. Not to mention this car has all of the modern safety features you could ever need. Blind spot detection, rear cross traffic alert, predictive forward collision warning, forward emergency braking. This thing's loaded. This car also has a 360-degree top-down view camera. You push a button right here next to the center screen that says camera, and it shows you a 360-degree top-down view. No more excuses of backing into anything in your car now. This feature is amazing. You can see exactly where you are when you're parking. Extremely convenient luxury feature. All right, let's start her up. All right, now we're driving the 2017 Nissan Murano Platinum all-wheel drive. First impression of the car, seems very comfortable. Visibility is actually better than I expected. I was thinking it was going to be not the best due to all the modern styling features, especially the C and D pillar, but it's actually not too bad. I mean, there's definitely a big blind spot, but it's manageable with the mirrors and especially the top-down camera that you can put on. However, like I was saying, the visibility actually is pretty good for what I was expecting. It's not bad. The seating position is definitely very captain's chair-like. I feel like the bolstering in the seats coddle you very well. The center armrest has a nice, sturdy, comfortable feel when you're resting your elbow on it. It's nice, I like it. The engine seems to have good power. I know it's a CVT, but it actually feels like it holds the revs and shifts strong, which is surprising. I was expecting it to have a very slow acceleration, but it's actually not that bad. It drops down and it pulls. This Murano is equipped with the Bose sound system, and to be honest, you would think that it would be a really bumping sound system, but apparently Dana and Kevin both say that it's the worst of the two systems that they have in their cars. They're not really impressed with the sound system they have in here, which is a little disappointing, but oh well. They can always upgrade to an aftermarket system if they really wanted to invest the money in it, which is always going to be better than a factory system, always. I also forgot to mention that it has heated and cooled seats up front. It also has dual zone climate controls, of course. When I get into the infotainment system, it's not the most aesthetically pleasing to me, but it seems like everything works. It seems like it's pretty straightforward and simple enough. You mess with it for a little while, you figure everything out. It seems to be pretty simple enough, straightforward. Certainly some body roll in the corners. Yep. Not a sports car. Yeah, let's get onto the highway. Good pull. Whoa, it rolls. It's got good pickup though. I wasn't expecting that from a CVT, but it's actually really smooth. And to adjust the heated and cool seats, it's a very simple dial. Driver and passenger have their own individual dial. You just turn it left for cooled and turn it right for hot. Super simple, easy. You don't have to get into the infotainment system to access it. Nice, I like that. The heated steering wheel, by the way, gets hot. That thing really works. If you want a car with a good heating steering wheel, this is it. The thing gets blazing hot. It's amazing. I bet it's super nice in the winter to have that. So I'm using the adaptive cruise control right now, and what an amazing feature this is. Especially if you're doing a lot of commuting, a lot of long trips, you're going on vacation, driving, whatever it may be, this is really nice. You set it on the steering wheel, you push cruise control on, and then you set it to what speed you want, and you set the car length distance in front of you using this button right here. You can go from 1 car length, 2 car lengths, and 3 car lengths. Right now I have it on 3 at 66 miles an hour. And right now I'm cruising down the highway. I have plenty of distance in front of me between myself and the car in front of me. And the car automatically adjusts either speeding up or slowing down based on where this individual in front of me is. Love it, absolutely love it. If I had a long commute for work, this would be such a nice luxury feature to have. I'm a very big fan of it. And another thing to note that I feel like I have to mention because it's a newer car, this car has a lot of technology and safety features, which is very convenient, but it doesn't seem to be overwhelming with the amount of tech and features and multiple different configurations and multiple different ways of how you can adjust something. Everything seems to be pretty user-friendly and intuitive the way it's laid out. All the buttons and switches are pretty simple. For instance, my grandmother's brand new 2019 Audi A5 has an overwhelming amount of technology in it. For her, she's not used to that. She doesn't like the fact that she has all these buttons and switches to deal with. Definitely more user-friendly for someone who doesn't need a whole bunch of tech. Just something to note if you're in the market for a vehicle and you want something more simple that'll get you from A to B as comfortably as you can without overwhelming you with all the things that it can do in multiple different ways that you don't necessarily need. What's actually really cool with this CVT, you put your foot down, it seems like it doesn't even downshift. It seems like it just keeps the revs like right around 4,500, 5,000 RPMs. It just like keeps pulling. Yeah, good acceleration from a CVT. Maybe it was just a Subaru I drove. I drove a Subaru Crosstrek that had a CVT, and that thing was a slug. It couldn't get out of its own way. This car actually, when you put your foot down, it moves. I like it. I like it very much. It's a nice, comfortable car. I personally wouldn't buy a car like this because this isn't for me. I'm more about buying the cheapest car I can get or the fastest car I can get for the cheapest amount of money. But I would recommend this to somebody if they're looking for a mid-size SUV in this price range. Yeah, absolutely. Man, I love the heated steering wheel. In the wintertime, I'd have this on all the time. I love this. Like, you can feel it around the whole wheel. It feels nice and hot. So right now we're trying the 360-degree top-down camera in reverse. We're gonna park in a parking spot right now. Oh yeah, look at that. Wow. I'm not even looking around me. I'm just looking right at the screen. I don't have to move my eyes anywhere. Look at that. Park like a pro. You can also go to vehicle settings and go to driving position. You click on that and you can see that you can set on or off the exit seat slide or the exit steering up. So when you turn off the car, the telescoping steering wheel goes up and the seat comes down, so you can more easily exit and enter the vehicle. And then when you start the car, everything comes back down to your driving position that you had it set at before. You can also look at your Eco Drive report, and you can go to view history and see how well you're doing with your fuel economy. You can also go into maintenance, and it shows intervals of your oil and filter change, your tire rotation, and another service interval that you can choose of what you want. You can set in here, and it'll remind you when it's time for the service at whatever miles you set it to do the work on your car that it needs. And what's funny is you can have your oil and oil filter change set at every 18,500 miles. I really hope nobody's waiting 18,500 miles to change their oil. The navigation, unfortunately, seems a little outdated, even though it's only 2 years old, but that's okay. We all have ways. It doesn't matter anymore nowadays to have navigation in a car. There's also a very convenient button set up for adjusting the brightness on the center screen and the dashboard. Just go right here and push the button, and it dims to night mode. You push it back, goes right to day mode. Same thing on the other side for the dashboard. Simple, easy to reach dial. You turn up and down the brightness. I think that's very convenient to have that, and rather than going into the infotainment system and trying to have to mess with a whole bunch of buttons to do that, it's simple right there. Push a button, easy, done. All right, I have it in manual mode now. I'll put it down to first. Let's give it a good pull. Oh, whoa. All right, that was weird. I shifted from first to second, and it like didn't drop any RPMs at all. It kept the RPMs right in the power band, right at 5,000 RPMs. That was interesting. I guess that's the reason why it has decent pickup for a CVT. It holds the RPMs right in the power band. Interesting. It did take a long time though to get all the way from first to second gear though. It felt like a good 6 seconds. Yeah, it certainly feels a lot faster than I thought. I thought it was going to be a lot slower than it actually is. This car has a lot more acceleration than I thought it was going to. Nice surprise. These seats also feel like you could just lean back and totally just chill on a long ride. You see what Dan is talking about. He puts on the adaptive cruise control and just sits back and just gently has the wheel and just cruises. I could totally see this being a great car for someone who's making long commutes every day for work or just doing a lot of business traveling, something like that. I think that's one of their main reasons why they bought this car, because Dana drives all the way to Rome, New York, and sometimes out to Rhode Island for work, so it makes a lot of sense. So to wrap it up, I would say my favorite features of the car are the wheels, the nice silver trim in the interior. I love the heated steering wheel. The seats are very comfortable. Plenty of space in the back, and I'm very impressed with its drivetrain and power for a CVT with 260 horsepower. It also cruises very comfortably on the highway, and I absolutely love the adaptive cruise control. What an awesome feature that is. I would say its drawbacks are the infotainment system doesn't seem to be the most intuitive, but it works. However, all the buttons and switches around it on the steering wheel and in the center console seem to be very straightforward and user-friendly, so it makes up for it. Overall, though, I think it's a great daily driver. I like it. I recommend it. If you get it for a good deal, I feel like someone would be very happy with this. One thing just to know, I have heard that Nissan has had a lot of problems with these CVTs, and even though I am impressed with how it drops down and accelerates with this engine, it feels like it has good power, I've heard that these Nissan Jatco transmissions have had a lot of failures way before they should, right around 40,000 miles. I've heard of some of them breaking. The transmission should not be going out with that kind of low miles. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, please give me a like. If you liked it even more, please give me a subscribe. It means the world to me. Check out my other videos if you're so inclined. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. You push a button right here in the center. You push a button right here by the you push a button right here by right you push a button right by the center screen. You push a button right here by the